Don't touch the sword, wretch. Only a true warrior deserves it. Then it lit up in his hands. Title, The Light and the Wretch. The sword stood embedded in ancient stone, tall and proud, untouched for over a century. It was no ordinary blade. Forged in the fires of the vanished kingdom of Eloran, the sword shimmered even in moonlight, a dormant weapon of gods, sealed to awaken only in the hands of a true warrior. Dozens had tried to claim it. Kings, warlords, champions. All had failed. Some were thrown back, scorched. Others disappeared. The sword rejected them all. Now, on the edge of the ruined citadel, a new challenger stepped forward, and he was a beggar, draped in tattered cloth, barefoot and thin. The man approached the stone while murmurs echoed around him. A crowd had gathered. Soldiers in gleaming armor, nobles from distant cities, curious villagers, and arrogant knights all jeered from a safe distance. Get back, fool! You'll be killed. Who let that thing near the relic? But the beggar walked on undeterred. A knight stepped forward, golden and broad, bearing the insignia of the storm crown. Don't touch the sword, wretch. Only a true warrior deserves it. He spat the words like venom. The beggar paused. He looked up at the knight, eyes pale blue and unblinking. And who decides who is true? The knight raised his hand, but the elder priest behind him placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Let him try, the priest whispered. The sword will decide. Laughter erupted among the onlookers. The beggar turned back toward the blade. It rose from the stone like a monument, its hilt shaped like twin phoenix wings, the blade forged from a metal not found on earth. The air hummed around it like it knew. He reached out, gasps, whispers, a hush, and then the sword lit up. A blinding white light burst from the hilt, running up the blade like fire racing through oil. The crowd fell silent. Even the birds in the sky ceased their songs. The beggar didn't flinch. His hand wrapped around the glowing hilt. The stone cracked with sound like thunder, and with one clean motion, he pulled the sword free. The earth trembled. The light faded. He stood, weapon in hand, bathed in an ethereal glow. The blade whispered his name, not in words, but in a feeling, a recognition. It had waited for him. The knight dropped to his knees. That's not possible, he muttered. You're no one. The beggar turned, slowly. I was no one, but I have always been something. Chapter 2. His true name. His name was Kael. Not that anyone knew it. He had once been a soldier, a child of war, raised by fire, shaped by loss. In the great purge of the East, Kael's family had been slaughtered. He survived by hiding under the corpses of his mother and sister, pretending to be dead for 2 days until the blood dried in his hair and the flies covered him. He had wandered for years, joined armies, deserted, fought for coins, fought for food, fought for nothing. The more he lived, the more invisible he became. Soon he stopped speaking. He stopped dreaming. He became what the world expected of him. A wretch. But inside, the fire never went out. He never forgot. Not the faces of the soldiers who murdered his kin. Not the silver insignias they wore. Not the banners they raised. The same banners now fly in the court of the Storm Crown. Chapter 3. The Knight Who Knew. Sir Malric, the Golden Knight, stood alone in his tent that night. The beggar had disappeared after claiming the sword. No one knew where he went. Malric's hands trembled, not with fear but memory. He knew that man. 20 years ago, Malric had ridden with the purge. He was young then, a sword eager to draw blood for glory. He remembered a cottage burned, a child they never found. The beggar's eyes had not changed. Pale blue, like frost, like the boy. No, Malric whispered. He couldn't have survived. He went to the high priest that night. He's dangerous. That man, he must be found. The priest only smiled. And what if he is dangerous? He is the one the sword chose. That sword belongs to the kingdom. No, the priest said. It belongs to the one who earned it. Chapter 4. The Return of the Flame. Kael returned not as a beggar, but as a reckoning. Within days, the kingdom stirred with whispers. The man who drew the blade of Eloran had returned. He didn't ride a horse or command an army. He walked alone, and cities bent their knee. Farmers wept. Soldiers abandoned corrupt lords and joined his side. He said little, but everywhere he went, injustice trembled. And then he spoke his first decree. Storm Crown must fall. It was treason, but no one dared call it that. The sword glowed in his hands, not with violence, but with judgment. The king, fearful and proud, summoned Malric. Kill him. End this. Malric hesitated. He remembered the boy, the fire, the cries. Bring me his head, the king roared, or I will take yours. Chapter 5. The Last Duel. On the plains of Verdun, beneath the shadow of the old watchtower, they met again, Kael and Malric. No audience, no ceremony, just two men. Malric wore full armor, carrying a broadsword laced with poison. Kael wore only rags and the Sword of Eloran. I could have killed you as a child, Malric said. You did, Kael replied. That boy died long ago. You think this is justice? No, Kael said. It's truth. And then they fought. Malric was a knight, trained, brutal, unrelenting. But Kael was something else. He didn't fight with form. He fought with memory. Every swing was for a face lost. Every parry a scream silenced. He was fast, unyielding, not because of training, but because of purpose. The sword glowed brighter with every strike, until it burned like the sun. In the final moment, Malric fell to his knees, sword broken, breath shallow. Kael stood over him. Do it, Malric whispered. End me? Kael raised the blade, and then stopped. You ended yourself long ago, he said, and turned away. The sword dimmed, satisfied. Chapter 6. A New Crown. The Storm Crown fell days later. The king, abandoned by his army, fled into the night. Kael never chased him. Instead, he walked into the shattered throne room and placed the sword on the steps. I don't want your crown, he said to the crowd. I want your memory. Remember who you let suffer, and remember who stood up. Then he vanished. Some say he became a wanderer again. Others say he sleeps beneath the roots of the old tree on Mount Solon, the blade beside him, waiting to shine once more. But those who saw him say the truth was simple. He was never a wretch. He was always a warrior. The world just forgot how to see.